Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Mom Existence Podcast. This is a very special episode. Instead of doing a solo this week, I thought I would bring my number one bestie, gal pal. I mean, gal pal. I didn't mean to say gal
thank
pal.
you, Ashley.
My husband Jeff to join me in our home recording / virtual studio. Yeah, we're in the corner. It's actually a good setup, but we are very slow getting it ready, which was my fault. I knew it would take a lot longer than it did, but we rigged it up. Jigged it up? Rig or jig?
I think you can go with both.
Are you gonna say anything? Like, hi. You're my best listener.
Hi, I'm your best gal, pal, friend.
You listen every week. Jeff is also my quality control. If there's ever been an issue with the sound cutting out, you listen first, basically, and then we're able to fix it. The old BMV team. We're all a team over here. Okay, well, basically, we're going to share a little bit about our experiences becoming parents and also reflect a little bit in a light and fun way. Isn't it funny? Before you have a child, you think that you're busy and that life is hard, and then you have a child and you're like, what the actual fuck?
You can't plan for it.
You can't.
It's ridiculous.
It obviously is the most rewarding job because of the love and just kind of reliving and seeing things through someone else's eyes is just like fun. And obviously, again, you love them to death, but how hard did you think it was in the beginning? Or was it just me being psychotic and thinking everything was hard?
No, it was ridiculous. It was hard at the beginning. You ran off of 4 hours sleep every day, and not not a single person actually prepares you for the day when you bring a little baby home.
But I don't think you can actually be prepared because you could read all the books, you could talk to people, tell you it's hard, or horror stories or positive stories, and it just like doesn't sink in. You cannot actually understand the amount of like
How unprepared you are, no matter what.
yeah, like just the sacrifice and the life change and the mental load and exhaustion is like
I think
unmatched.
overall we did pretty good though. Like it was madness, but in the end, I mean, he went through all of the cycles that when you start to read that you actually would expect him to go through, but you've never lived through the cycles. So you're just like, what the hell is this?
No, that's true. But I think it's just more so like the constant, I don't want to say Groundhog Day, but like kind of the repetitive nature sometimes to me is good because it keeps my brain focused on and knowing what's next in a scheduled kind of way. But at the same time, you go through certain periods, or right now, he's just over 2, and it's like, okay, supper time, bedtime, or bath time, then bedtime, but like all the things and you have to do them in this sequence. So I find that is more so exhausting, and maybe people are more laissez-faire and don't follow that and just kind of like go with it when their child wants to sleep, but that is not us. We are very regimented.
We are militant.
Though we have a 30 something pound dictator who seems to run our show. We do try and stay very structured and in routines to, I don't know, for all of our sanities to know what's next.
Do you feel like you're always just chasing the clock?
I had the worst time once. I was home basically all the time by myself with him when he was like a year and a half. Well, many months before that, but I found it hard because I was alone and I would constantly be like, how am I filling the day? what am I going to do? It's only 10 a.m. I found that. You know, when you have a job, everyone's been there, or in school that you don't necessarily like, and the clock is just going so slow, and you're in pain thinking about how the day is going so slow. Sometimes I feel like that, and I did certainly when I was by myself. So I don't know if I'm chasing it. It's chasing me in like
I
the
feel like I
slowest
just can't
ways.
get ahead of it.
But now, yeah, like now that he goes to daycare and we're working on, working on projects and doing things and trying to fit in social things, the gym, all when he is in daycare, obviously. But that is what blows my mind on how fast the time actually goes.
It's almost no matter what your time walking, but you just keep looking at the clock saying, oh my gosh, I only have an hour left. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 hours left. And everything's just like, it's just happening.
And my anxiety used to rev up, especially when he started daycare. I've talked about this before, but like thinking about picking him up and that clock ticking, and also like what was I in for when I went to get him, that really stressed me out. Anyway, I hate when people say the days are long but the years are short. I hate that. I hate when people start with, oh, enjoy it, goes by so fast.
I'm like, yeah, what about all the bullshit we gotta deal with?
Well, it's just like, yeah, no shit. Like life, you go to a freaking a hockey game, it goes by fast. You're enjoying it. You go on a vacation, it goes by fast. Everything like that is just life. I don't understand that, and people are just like, I don't know. I hate that. Okay, I want to know how you would describe my parenting style in a few words.
Organized.
Ooh, I like that.
Very, very organized and prepared. So, which actually is a spin-off of organization, but organized, prepared, and structured. Three of them all probably go under the same family,
Okay,
but
so
that's like your superpower.
not loving, not caring.
Okay, we all know
I
that
get it. I'm
that
a monster. Okay.
is.
I'm the military drill sergeant reporting to duty. Okay, Jeff.
No, you're the leader in that domain.
Yeah, in scheduling.
You're very good at scheduling. I
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
You are so loving to little Cash.
I also want to know, this just popped in my head because I was listening to something on the Mom Room podcast about the mental load and how my Instagram, especially this podcast one, is flooded with parenting advice, just things to do with children. Is any of your Instagram feed about learning stuff like that?
It's more so toddler boys driving bicycles off
That's entertainment.
of like 6 foot walls.
Yeah, I plead my case. So you're not.
It's a kid crisis.
It's a kid crisis. I'm. We're not bashing Jeff. I mean, we're not bashing men here today, but you're here. Um,
Okay, I'm ready.
but no, I found it's an interesting dynamic being the mother versus the father in terms of like learning about sleep training or solids and dropping naps and all the activities. And I found that like super overwhelming. Like, what would you do if I didn't look that stuff up? Would you just like go with it and not like actually care about those things, or like what would that look like?
I would be going with it and figuring it out on the fly a little bit. I can.
But like, at what point do you think you would have thought, oh, we have to shift nap times now, or we have to drop a nap? That never would have crossed your mind.
I would have had so many questions for so many people.
But like, would you even be aware of those things?
No,
Okay, so if we had another child and I just said, I'm throwing in the towel,
I'd be aware.
really?
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like the women moms in this heterosexual example, like we just mentally have to think about a lot of shit. And I'm tired.
Yes.
As of today, I declare I'm not researching. Okay, so I'm scheduled, I'm regimented, I'm organized, I'm caring. That was the last one. Let's not forget
Loving.
loving.
You love that little guy.
I love him so much that I love him way more than he loves me, that I'm like kissing him and loving on him all day.
Isn't it crazy how much
But
you just
he's
want
like,
to kiss him?
I could just like smell him and kiss him all day.
I kissed him 12 times before I went to my event tonight.
But the thing is, like, he is so independent and just like no money, no. And I think that when they're babies, they don't do that. Now I think forever he's gonna do that.
Maybe he will.
I don't like that.
No. He'll get to the point where he just has ultimate respect for his parents.
I hope so. I'll do anything for that little bugger. Okay, we both, mostly you, became a parent later in life because you're almost 3 years older than me.
Who's counting?
Like 2.5-ish, but like I like to round up and say 3.
Makes sense.
And if we had another child, clearly not pregnant, as we drink our whispering angel, it's nighttime, everyone, relax.
Okay, so we have a child. I'm 41.
You would be at least 41, 42 before another living creature, human being, is walking, coming into this house. How does that make you feel? As like a technically older father. Round 2.
I'm all for it. I am all for it. I've gone gray, but whatever.
Not like gray. You're
No, just
gray
like a little
king.
salt and pepper on the side as a strong gray 40-year-old man.
Did you know that Kelsey Grammer, you know who he is?
Yeah.
That his wife, I think it must be like at least his third wife, that he is 70 and his wife is pregnant with their 4th child.
He's okay.
What do you think of that?
Go for it, Kelsey.
He has 8.
8 kids?
This will be his 8. He has 7 now.
Some of his kids have kids.
No, I don't think that. I think there were probably. I think he had like Camille Grammer, who was on The Real Housewives. I think he had at least 2 with her, maybe 3. I'm not sure.
Do you know the only thing I ever do with my age when it comes to being a parent is that I always, my brain, I always do math and nonstop, you know that, but that's for another podcast. So immediately I just go, okay, add 20. How old am I when Cash is 20, or how old am
That's
I
that.
when baby number 2? I'm like, okay, 60. That's not too bad because 60 is not old anymore. Like when we were young.
Yeah, but some people are
60 was
grandparents when
old.
they're 60.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Like, will we be grandparents to our children?
Oh,
I think so.
close.
Because I even reflect on it. I think it's common now because people are having kids later in life that, which there's nothing wrong with if you're 20, whatever you want to do, or 40. But it is interesting to reflect on. I saw a lady at the grocery store the other day, and she was like maybe 60. She looked great. Maybe younger, maybe a few years older, but she had 3 little grandkids with her. One was a little boy, probably Cash's age. She was carrying him. He had his Sue there. Then there was an older boy who was probably like 7 or 8, and then a little girl who was maybe like 5 or 6. So I just like reflect on age when it comes to children or grandkids, because you see her, I'm like, oh, she's only 60 and has these 3. Where my mom just turned 70 and your dad's 70, and your mom and my dad are close to 70. And for my parents, this was their first grandkid. I don't know. It just makes you think about it.
Oh, it does.
Time is scary. Anyways, Camille, I hope he lives till he's 90. Let's just hope everyone makes it to that next 20, the next 20, next 20.
You mean Kelsey?
What did I say?
Camille.
Oh.
He was married to Camille, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pop
Mad
culture.
love. If our relationship had a slogan, okay, in the newborn days, what would it have been? Like in the first couple weeks.
Eye of the tiger. Be like, rising up.
Oh my god.
No, it's just survival of the fittest.
We were also like not high or drunk at all in the beginning, but we felt it. Adrenaline, sleep deprivation. We had the sillies.
There was a lot of giggles and a lot of times with the sound machine going, the snoo going. We're trying to talk to each other. We can't hear each other. And then we're just like yelling in silence.
I hated you sometimes. Yeah, we would be laying. You have no idea the first time when you bring that child home. We would have, it's not a hatch that we had in our room, but something like that, like an iHome. And we'd have it on the lowest setting of like orange, because orange, yellow, red, or are not like disruptive to sleep. So Cash would wake up in the night. We would think it was a good idea to like change him in the bed, which I know people do, but I think that was awful. If he peed,
It went everywhere.
yeah, and everything's just like sinking in. I mean, we've since got a Tempur-Pedic, like actual Tempur-Pedic, not just a memory foam, like the Tempur-Pedic. I think that would be
That'd be
helpful.
the pee protector.
No, but I just think that like the bed, we wouldn't be like sinking. Anyway, it's hard to change a newborn's diaper, and I never knew like when
It
am I
was
sick?
so hard.
So hard.
Your
You have
knees
to
would be
take
going down, you're falling over.
It's like you have to take them out. In our case, we had a snoo. So if you don't know what that is, it's a more innovative bassinet that like rocks and plays certain sounds based on the baby, and they brand it as the safest way to sleep because of the way that they're kind of clipped in with their sleep sack. So you have to take off the sleep sack. You have to then take off their clothes. I never knew when I was supposed to change the baby's diaper. Like Cash goes now like hours, his diaper's hanging and like it's fine. But when they're newborn, I don't know. I think I thought every 2 hours, so we would always be changing in the night. And I'd be asking for something. First of all, why were we whispering?
I don't know. No one else was home.
The baby's not gonna wake up.
No. Like, what are you doing?
I'd be like, what? Pass me that. Pass me that. I'm gonna kill you.
I don't know what I'm doing. Neither
And
do
you,
I.
because we're tired. It's probably 3, 4 a.m. And you're saying like, what? What? He's looking at me, and that's what would annoy me. I'm like, you don't know what I'm fucking saying right now. I remember that. I was so angry.
Oh,
I
there
never
was a lot
hate
of
it
those.
like more. But why were we whispering? We could have just talked. Like the baby is not going to wake up.
Could have said, hey, can you pass the wipes? Hey, can you pass the wipes? What?
I'm sure we could have had the TV on, the bathroom light on. We could have been talking, and he would have still been out cold. Like we weren't sleep training at freaking week 3. What was wrong with us?
We
Anyways,
didn't know. You didn't know. I didn't know.
we didn't know anything. I
No.
digress. I still don't know anything.
Still don't know. Now it's the toddler stage.
Now it's the toddler stage. Who do you think is Cash's favorite parent?
I think it depends on the day.
I know.
It really
It
does.
really does.
It really does. Depends on
He plays favorites like,
he,
wow.
he is a dictator.
He is. It's actually, it could be like hour to hour.
1 minute. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, mommy.
Yeah.
I do. Here,
Just
mommy, you
one-
do it.
1 minute. Anyways, he's crazy.
But all you have to do, you just laugh at it. That's all you can do, no matter what.
It's hard.
Just laugh.
Yeah. It is better now that he talks and you can like communicate more, but it definitely can like really stress you out too, because they're so bossy. Or he's bossy. I know that he just is, and I think he probably gets that from me, but I don't know.
As long as you're owning it.
Well, I think I'm very particular.
Organized, structured.
Organized. Her tombstone read. Organized, structured, caring.
I think there was one more that I said too.
I think those are terrible adjectives.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I guess it's fine. I'll forgive
A
you.
lot of people wish they were organized.
Okay, let me do yours. Let's flip the script here. I think that I would say that your parenting style is calm, patient, and fun.
I think that's great.
Like he likes to play with you.
Those are just my
These are
three
other like
attributes.
mom truths or parenting truths. Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to speak on behalf of people I know who agree. Like sometimes I don't want to go to the playground. Does that make me a bad mom?
No, that does not make you a bad mom.
I just don't want to. I don't want to go to the playground or pretend play. Sometimes he's playing, I'm in the kitchen, and he's just self-entertained. He's like quiet. I can hear him making sounds, talking to himself, like moving his cars. And then all of a sudden, Mommy, Mommy, come here. Okay, Cash, I'm just finishing cutting the last whatever for dinner. Like, give me a break. I'm working for free here. Like, take it down a notch. Give me a sec. Give me 5. It's relentless. Mummy, mummy, mummy.
Just when you think you have a moment to yourself too.
You don't.
Let's say he's playing with
World
a
War
tow
III
truck.
hits.
All of a sudden, he's quiet, he's quiet, he's quiet. And then he goes, Mommy, where my other tow truck?
Yeah, or come here.
Come here.
And then you go there and you interact. You play, oh, that's nice. And then I try and explain, like, I need to go back in. We're all going to starve to death if Mommy doesn't make food, or we're on some type of schedule, whatever. So I go back in, I start doing it, and it's like, Mommy, come play. And like, I love my son more than anything. That is not what it's all about. When this is day in and day out, when you're trying to be productive and do things, and they are relentless, like I don't like that sometimes. I just want to finish cooking, and then I will give you my undivided attention for the rest of the night, like for hours, whatever you want. I'll suck it up. I'll go to the park. We'll play in a sandbox outside, like whatever. But I just need 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Would you just give your mother 5 minutes, please?
And do you ever worry that you're like
to cut the vegetables?
I know. Do you ever worry that we're gonna like fuck them up, or that like we're doing things wrong?
I think about that all the time.
Do you?
But I don't think we are.
Talk into your mic.
But I don't
Not like
think
eating it, but just like talk into it.
first time on a mic.
I just think there's so much more awareness around emotional intelligence and things, the way our parents raised us or other generations, and now how we raise and the things we know. And again, social media, it's like the angel and the devil. But you just worry that, or I just worry, I don't want him to grow up and have like anxiety and resentment because of what we did or didn't do, even though it's not like, let's say, like some type of tragic situation or like an abusive situation on different levels. But I think there's always like resentment in situations like that.
Yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Okay, pretty good job.
Pretty good.
Okay, we are gonna keep this one. Do you have something else to say? You just like that one.
No.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about listening to this podcast? Let's do a little plug here.
You know what?
I'm all ears.
I'm all ears. Tell me all the good things. It's just good, easy listening. All your conversations are really well done. Your guests are great. I'm probably the worst guest, maybe.
We'll let the audience decide.
you have to
Please
be
DM
determined.
me. We'll see when I see the podcast stats rolling.
it's good. It's actually, it's one of those things where if say as your partner
I'm
and your
sorry,
husband.
it's good.
Okay, it's excellent. As your husband and partner, to hear you talk about your experiences as a mother and a parent, because we don't necessarily always get to talk about it that in depth from your point of view as a woman, which I think is very, very unique that I actually get to listen to that. So kudos to you.
Do you learn stuff?
Oh shit, yeah.
Okay, good. Maybe Dad should listen to this too.
Oh, Dad should. There's definitely a few there. Well, you have episode 30 or 31. That's what this would be, 31, maybe
I
something
love
like
how
that.
you know that because you were helping me set something up yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Is it or is this 29?
I don't know.
Well, we're
It's up
around
there,
about that.
but there. Let's say at least 40% of the podcasts are relatable to men. They should listen.
Okay.
Let's put it out there.
It doesn't hurt to educate yourself, right?
No, it's very informative.
And listen to some like real
Real talk.
stories, real talk. Yeah, and in August, this podcast will have been up and running for officially 1 year. We're approaching.
Hey.
Oh, another
Cheers,
clink.
cheers, cheers.
We are approaching that
Well done.
1 year mark, and it is almost July. And I think that.
It's bad luck to not take a sip.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, cheersing you.
I think that as we do as humans or parents, we're continuously evolving and changing. And so is this podcast.
Yeah. And
maybe it will be the mom and dad existence.
Oh,
no,
snap.
probably not. I don't think that's ever
No,
gonna.
I don't think you want to hear me.
Anyway. All right. Any final remarks or things?
No. Congratulations on your podcast, though. You're doing an amazing job, and you're an amazing mother.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I guess stay tuned for some TBD, some fun things on the back burner. I wouldn't even say on low. I would say, yeah, is low less than a simmer, or are they the same?
Simmer is less.
Okay. Maybe the pan's on the stove, but like not even turned on.
And it's lukewarm water.
It's lukewarm water. Nothing is going. But the thoughts are there.
You cut the potatoes and you put them in. They're just sitting in the water.
Potatoes? Okay.
Just like my mom does, remember?
I don't even boil potatoes, but sure. Okay, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this episode with a friend, or DM me. Tell me what you liked, didn't like. Tell me any questions you have for Jeff or anything you want to hear more about. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jeff.